Hurricane Katrina's 140-mile-per-hour wind gusts drove a storm surge that raised sea levels nearly 30 feet above average along the Mississippi coast. And catastrophic flooding put 80% of the city of New Orleans underwater. With an estimated 1.5 million people displaced in the aftermath and $125 billion in damages, Katrina still holds the record as the costliest hurricane in U.S. history.
Hurricanes are almost like the engine of your car. They need some fuel source in order to spin rapidly. Warm sea surface temperatures provide that fuel source for hurricanes to take that energy in the form of those warm sea surface temperatures, convert it into wind, and then can be devastating in the center of a storm.
Even 20 years ago, climate change drove the severity of Katrina. A new analysis from Climate Central found that climate change increased the hurricane's sustained wind speed by 5 miles per hour. That 5 miles may appear small, but it could have increased Katrina's damages by 25% or more, according to NOAA.
The research bears out that human-caused climate change seems to be playing a role in increasing the likelihood that any given storm will undergo rapid intensification, become a monster, and threaten land.
An average Atlantic hurricane season has 14 named tropical storms, with 7 hurricanes and 3 classified as major hurricanes, according to NOAA. 2005, when Katrina hit, was a record-breaking year with 28 named storms. And since then, only 2020 has surpassed that record, with 30 named storms and 14 hurricanes. But in the last 20 years, 13 tropical storm seasons have surpassed that average expectation.
As bad as Katrina was, we know that there are potentially bigger storms that are brewing in the future.
Lori Peak ran field investigations after Katrina, researching disaster preparedness, and is now the director of the Natural Hazard Center at the University of Colorado Boulder.
We have learned so much from that disaster about what went wrong, but also what we could do differently, with everything from issuing evacuation orders to how we do contraflow in terms of getting traffic going the right direction in a storm, to how you do long-term recovery right.
There have been major improvements in hurricane forecasting. A 5-day forecast of a storm's future track is roughly as good now as a 2-day outlook when Katrina struck, which helps immensely with preparedness. And federal agencies have dedicated investment into better predicting intensity of incoming storms.
We see somewhere between a 15 and 50% increase in the amount of rainfall associated with hurricanes. And this is because of almost like a sponge ringing effect. You can imagine that a hurricane is more intense. It can more effectively sort of wring the water out of the hurricane itself.
It's not just rainfall that's intensifying, but also sea level rise, which makes storm surges worse, in addition to faster moving storms.
Katrina is more than anything a human story. I think it's a lesson for how human beings are affected by the environment, and it's a lesson for how we should think about how the climate affects our day-to-day lives.
Maura Barrett, Scripps News Group, Denver.